And it's just so interesting living in a world where so many people have access to so little. We're running a free medical camp, a free eye surgery camp here over these couple of weeks. And I was there the other day, and people had come in from Muzaffarnagar. Muzaffarnagar is hours away by bus. Hours. They'd come in just for eye care, because they don't have access to it. And yet, they're so much happier. There is so much less of an experience of depression. And I think a lot of it comes from our lack of real values. When our focus is on just external achievement and external rewards and money and clothes and status and popularity, it's very shallow. It's a very quick, immediate kind of hit of dopamine, hit of ego, however you describe it, it doesn't matter. But there's this kind of momentary hit of, yes, another success, another, follower, or another this, or another that, another shopping trip. But it doesn't last. And on some level, we are not stupid. Whether we make the right decisions or not, we are not stupid. And we know that our values are so superficial. We know that we are anchoring ourselves into a definition of success, a search for happiness that is so superficial and so materialistic that we know it's not real. But we're just kind of jumping on the bandwagon. It's no wonder we're depressed. We're spending all of our day trying to get more and more money so we can buy more and more things, so we can feel better and better about ourselves. But it's like, as Pujya Swamiji always says, you fill the shelf, but the self feels empty. And instead of focusing so much on just filling the shelf, we need to focus on the experience of the fullness in the self. So, the ways to do that. Number one, allow yourself to have a different definition of success. A definition that means something to you. Not what society says, not about your money, not about the size of your house or the size of your car. But what does success really mean to you? What would make you feel at the end of the day like it mattered to the world that you got up in the morning? Were you able to be of some benefit in some way, immediate or long-term ripple, of bringing some kind of healing, of help, of positivity, of peace, of love to people in the world? And it may be through bringing them food. It may be through bringing them medicine. It may be through bringing them a smile or some peace in their heart or some love or some understanding. But is there something that you've done to be of benefit here on planet Earth? Has it mattered to anyone that you got out of bed this morning? Those are the sorts of things that make us less depressed. Focus on giving. Focus on service. It's one of the best antidotes to depression. Serve, give, do for others. The more you do for others, the less rooted in your own depression you're going to be. Number one. Number two, exercise and eat well. On a purely physiological, neurological level, the more oxygen there is in the brain, the better you feel, quite literally. The food we eat, the junk food that we eat, the sugar we eat, the chemicals we eat, actually has a really detrimental impact on our mental health. Eat clean. Eat fresh. Doesn't have to be super fancy. But eat clean, eat fresh. Eat healthy food that's good for your body. Exercise. Get yourself huffing and puffing. Let oxygen flow into the brain. Allow yourself to dive into everything ranging from beautiful art, beautiful poetry, beautiful music, to spiritual music, kirtan, prayers, Vedic chanting. The sounds of Vedic mantras actually change us alchemically. They come in and they change us alchemically. It's really powerful. Let yourself listen to that. And just dive into it, and you'll find a huge difference.
So basically, instead of getting the hit of dopamine through Prozac, you're saying it's going to take time to alter that state of mind through various different practices.
It is going to take time, and if along the way you need Prozac, that's okay. No, really. I mean, nothing to feel badly about.
Yeah, no, I'm just, that's what I've seen a lot of people do. And
well, it's not the solution.
Right.
The only way, in my opinion, that it should be used is as a way to get you out of bed so that you can put all of the other solutions into place. The problem with depression is it tends to paralyze us. Mm-hmm. And it tends to prevent us from being able to implement any solution to our own depression. What the antidepressants can do is to pull you out of it enough so that you actually get out of bed, so you can go to therapy, so you can do things to change your state of mind, so that you don't end up committing suicide along the way, so that you don't end up making horrible decisions and turning to drugs or alcohol or whatever it is that are, kind of irreparable choices. But the antidepressants are not the solution to depression, because the cause is not just a chemical imbalance. The cause can be much deeper. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Other questions? Yes.
Namaste, Yogini ji. I am Chitu. I am from Kerala.
I'm sorry, where are you from?
Kerala.
Okay.
The southern part of India.
Yes, of course, I've been there.
Yeah. So this,
can you come a little closer?
This is a dilemma that which I am having more than a question, because see, being from Kerala, and most of I have a special devotion to Lord Vishnu and the incarnation of Vishnu, and so much we have ethos with the Kerala go with more of Lord Vishnu. So, and I do believe in all the avataras especially, and the purpose of the avatara is to grant the righteousness, the dharma, institute dharma, and I do believe in these all things. See, the problem which I meditate, which I am having is that when I come to the fifth avatara of Vamana, and which has a connection with our state, to do with the Bali, the king who was there, when it comes that this particular king was so generous, righteous, just, and all sort of virtues can be attributed to this king, and Lord comes to just test him or to punish him, whatever be. And if you go to the Purana, from his part whatever he did was correct, and when I reflect on this one, it comes as the purpose of the avataras are being institute dharma or righteousness. And when it comes to here, already righteousness is being established that particular place, and the Bali himself was a righteous king. And now already where there is righteousness, and I am not able to get the meaning of this avatara, not like of the other avataras easily to comprehend to me. But when it comes to this particular avatara, I am just having a trouble. And even when I reflect, I get a guilt like that. Even Lord also showing a partiality, and he sided with Indra, and maybe sided this particular even he was such a devotee of Lord Vishnu. So this is the dilemma which I am just undergoing.
So भैया इनकी माइक को बंद कर दीजिए ना, हमेशा कर दो नहीं तो एको हो जाता है. धन्यवाद. So बंद है ना, बंद कर दिया उनका बंद कर दो. If you look at all of the avatars in many ways, there are choices and decisions that they make in their incarnation on earth that can cause trouble. For us is when we think about it. Why did Bhagavan Krishna do this? Why did Bhagavan Ram do this? Why this? At different times, God, we say Bhagavan Vishnu, the sustainer, has come on earth in different avatars. We have out here the 24 avatars of Bhagavan Vishnu. He's come on earth to sustain life, to sustain Dharma. Remember that Bhagavan Krishna tells us, whenever darkness is winning out over light, whenever Dharma is being punished by, conquered by a Dharma, I will incarnate on earth in form to bring back Dharma. That is the role of the avatars. Only Ram Bhagwan is the one we call Maryada Purush. Bhagavan Ram is the only one of all of the avatars, we are told, become like him. Even you look at Bhagavan Krishna. As we adore him and worship him and celebrate him and bow to him and do his puja, we look at his stories, he was quite a mischievous little one. Right? You go through the story of the Mahabharata. You go through so much. There's plenty of pieces that you can pull out and you can say, but he did this. But he told a lie here, but he sanctioned this over here, but we kind of cheated over here. But the goal of the avatars is not for us to judge their choices. The goal is one thing and one thing only, to restore Dharma. And if along the way you need to not actually tell a lie, but kind of whisper the truth in such a way that they can't actually hear the full truth, so what they hear is a lie, all in the name of winning the war of Dharma, you do it. If you need to hit the enemy in their weak spot that only you know, in order to win the war of Dharma, you do it. They're not here for us to say, this, that. Why did he side with this one? Why did he side it? Why did he do this? How did he have thousands of wives? How this, how that? It's not about that. It's about with every avatara, whichever way Dharma was being threatened at that time, Vishnu Bhagwan came on earth in form to put things right again. Bhakti should not confuse your brain so much. Bhagavan Krishna tells us, at one point very beautifully, essentially, don't try to understand me, just love me. Just be devoted. Don't try to figure me out. We have not been given the capacity to figure out God. Otherwise, aside from just what we consider Vishnu avatars, look at today. If there's God on earth, why are people starving to death? Why is there war? Why are women dying in childbirth? Why are babies dying of AIDS? No fault of their own. If you start letting your brain do that, not only do you become miserable, and you think your way out of faith, but you lose the actual point, which is not to figure out God, not to second guess God, but to have faith in the perfection of the creation, which requires us simply to have a vision that is bigger than we typically get in the individual stories. If you step back far enough, things make sense. You get the gyan enough, things make sense. But don't allow your shraddha, your asta, to get stuck in your brain. Today it's Vamanavatara, tomorrow it'll be something else. Once that habit in the mind comes of, this is why my bhakti is stuck, this is why I'm not able to have faith, it'll just become one thing after another. Nip it in the bud. Ask Bhagwan Vishnu for this blessing, to have full bhakti, full faith, even though you don't understand why he did everything he did in all of his incarnations. Even though if he had asked you, you would have given him maybe some better advice. Just to give you that bhakti that doesn't require appeasing the intellectual mind. Let that be your prayer, rather than to figure it all out. Because there's always arguments. You can always go back and forth. Well, but he could have done it this way, but he could have done it this way, but he could have... It's not the point. The point is, it's all about restoring Dharma. That's the highest goal. And your highest goal, your highest Dharma, is not to judge God or figure out God, but to love God. And through that love, to recognize that you are one with the divine. The more you apply the intellectual mind, the more you are holding God at an arm's length. I'll figure you out like a math problem. This one's easy, this one's hard. It just separates you from God. Ask for that bhakti, to just love. Otherwise, very little makes any sense.
Still,
Yeah. We'll come back to you. We'll come back. Just want to... Are there other questions that anyone else has? Yes.
Namaste Mataji.
Namaste.
My name is Matthew Joseph. I also came from Delhi, returning back tonight, and I am basically Keralite. I am from Kerala. I have a small, I face a lot of problems in spiritual thoughts and all. Just a small query, how to have empathy, how to have...
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Okay. How to have equal feelings, how to have sympathetic feelings towards all.
Okay. How to have good feelings, equal feelings for all.
Rather, how not to have any negative feelings against anyone.
Beautiful.
Same
Beautiful.
question. Yes, thank you.
So, it's a beautiful way to train the mind to not think badly about others. Otherwise, our minds are predisposed to be negative. We're predisposed toward negativity. But to work with the mind to become positive is beautiful. And really the best way to do it is just to substitute positive feelings for negative ones. So you see someone, for example, and the mind says, they're fat, they're ugly. Immediately, before it even arises, before the mind even can go there, pick out something that is beautiful and wonderful about that person. And it may be something small. It may be their smile. It may be the shawl they're wearing. But immediately just go toward the positive. But even on a deeper level, allow yourself to see the divine in everyone. And recognize that all of the negative feelings that you have are very superficial and they are objectifications. All of that which is negative is about somebody's body, what it looks like, their personality, what they're saying, what they're doing, their history, where they've been, their role, their job. It's all aspects of their object identity, which means that you are moving toward ignorance. Because ultimately what everyone is soul and divinity. And the more you focus on their body, their role, their story, their career, you're objectifying them and you're putting your attention away from a spiritual perspective and onto a materialistic perspective. And spirituality is that which pulls us out of a materialistic perspective into a way of seeing spirit. Right? The materialistic way says you are that body, I am this body. We can look at each other, we can judge each other. I like this, I don't like that. This is good, that's not good. But the spiritual way says, I am spirit, I am soul, you are spirit, you are soul. We are not separate. So when you begin to start to have negativity, allow your focus to shift from body to soul, from container to contents, from packaging to essence. Let yourself go deep. It means you're thinking very shallowly if you're judging the container. So the more and more you can focus on every individual being as soul, as divine, then there's no place for negativity. Because you would never say, oh, that's a, bad soul. We understand the soul is the soul is divine. You might say that's a bad personality, bad choices, bad decisions, bad vocabulary. But the soul is divine. So shift the focus from the packaging to the contents. For yourself and for others. And just see everyone as the soul in the different individual packages. And that'll pull you out of this judgment and negativity. Beautiful. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your evening. The bad news is we will not be having satsang for the next about 10 days. I'm leaving tomorrow in the afternoon and we'll be back on probably I think it's the 30th November, either the 30th or the 1st, I will be back. I hope that all of you will still be here, or at least most of you will still be here in Rishikesh. If not, I hope that you'll be able to keep coming back. And please do make sure to take advantage of all of the beautiful yoga classes, meditation classes, philosophy classes, our beautiful morning yagna, fire ceremony, the sacred Ganga Arati, of course. But allow yourself to fill your days with as much charging as you possibly can, so that when you go back, you're fully charged. And we will have it up in the reception area, in both of our receptions, and also online on social media giving you an announcement about when satsang will be starting again, which date, but it'll be just about 10 days. And I do hope to see you all again then. And so much love to you all.